streaming. Yeah.
Maybe towards the end. That's how you get them to come. University.
Exactly. So yeah, Bismillah. All right, so we'll do Qalam today. So hopefully you guys remember, right? So I'm just going to do a quick review of what we have covered in the grammar. So this is our verb table, right? So we talked about the present and the past and how you have different attachment prefixes and suffixes that help you understand who is the doer, he, she, they, you, and so on and so forth. And these are some examples where how do you make it in a command format, right? So we will compare that as we start seeing, these coming up in the Quran. Second thing we have done is the pronouns chart, or these are the huruf or prepositions or connecting words, whatever you want to call them, and they approximately come 10,000 times. Okay, so this gives you an example of like li, or for it means for, right? So, alhamdulillah, min means from, an means with, radiyallahu anhu, fi means in, fi sabilillah. The harf ba, it means either in or with, like bismillah. Ala means upon or on. Inda, like assalamu alaikum, right? Inda is near or have. Inna dina inda Allahil Islam. So the religion with Allah is only Islam. And ila means to or toward. So inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. So in ilayhi, you have to or two words. And ma'a means with, like inna Allah ma'a sabirin. And then these can be connected to pronouns, which we'll take a look at in the next chart. So if you look at our pronoun chart, what we talked about earlier is, if you think about in the English language, you have the pronoun for a third person male is what? He. Okay? Okay, so in English you have he. Come on. Okay, we'll just keep it at that. So you have he, you have him, and you have his. Okay? When do you use he? Give me an example of he.
He is.
More. He is what? He's brave.
He's working.
He's working hard, he's brave, he's strong, right? So you use he. Okay? So that's what in Arabic you would use huwa. Okay? When would you use his or him in English? Okay, give me an example. Yeah, so give an example. This is
His book.
This is his phone. This is his book, his phone, right? So in this case, you will use his. When would you use him? Let's call him, right? Or I hit him, right? I gave him the book, right? So in this scenario, you would use him. So in Arabic, for his or him, you would use who or he. Okay, either doesn't matter. It only has two distinctions. Either it's going to be huwa or it's going to be who or he. Okay, the same thing if you want to take a look at. So it only has these two versions most of the time, right? Huwa or he or who. Clear? For I, it has three versions. Just like in English, for I, you have three versions, right? What are the three versions of I in English? I, me, and my. Okay, so in Arabic, for I you would use ana. For me you would use this ya at the end, like kitabi, my book, ibadi, my servant. And then for me in Arabic you would use ni. So at'amani, he fed me, he gave me food. Okay, alhamdulillah alladhi at'amani hadha wa razaqani, and so on and so forth. Okay, so these are the pronoun chart. You can quickly refer to it. And then we did the detailed verb charts last week, because this now shows you female version of it, the you version of it, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's all we covered last time. So now we'll just go ahead and take a look at actual examples, and then we can come back to the chart as those examples come in. Okay. Okay, so wa here in this case is used for taking an oath. Okay, so in general it means and, but it's also used for as a harf of qasam, as a harf to take an oath. So wal qalami, so by the pen. So qalam is pen, qaf lam means. Wama and what. So ma is used for what, whatever. Okay, you guys need to repeat that. Sorry. So I'm going to say Arabic, you will say English. Okay, so that's how you do it, Rahil. Yasturun, they're right. Okay, so as you look at it, first you need to extract. So what's the core here? What's the root letters? No, root letters. Sin, ta, ra. Sin, ta, ra. Right? So we're going to talk about letters. Sin, ta, ra. Okay, which means to write. Okay, now because you know the patterns, it's easier, right? So you know that, hey, the ya and ma noon are only the attachments, right? What's the purpose of these attachments? So you can see here, right, when we're looking at the verb chart. So this is the present and future, right? So this is basically see, it's like this. See, the ya and ma noon is for they, and then you have the middle, which is sin, ta, ra, to write. Do you see that, Rahil? Okay, so that's why it's important to see these patterns. Okay, now if you wanted to see more, okay, well, is there something else? Let's say you become curious, you click on it, or in the app, you can see other places. Let's take a look at other places that this may come up. So sin, ta, ra. Yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't think of any other place. So apparently not. So this is it. Yaktumun, yaktubun, yes.
Is there a reason why it's used as yasturun instead of
Allahu alam, I don't know. Yeah, there probably is, right? So obviously, if you want to go into the balagha of Arabic language, when you use the sin tara, right, satara versus kataba, right? Obviously, there are differences. Allahu alam, I mean, that's not the level I have studied at, but for sure there are.
One more question.
Mhm.
The first one, bil qalam, wal qalam,
Yeah.
instead of bil qalam. What's the difference? Usually you think like with the pen, so bil qalam.
No, here wal qalam is by taking an oath, like wallahi,
Okay.
right? It's like that, wallahi, or
I swear.
wal layli idha saja, right? So it's taking an oath. Okay, ma is not. Okay, so ma also means what, and it also means not. Okay, so usually if it's coming, for example, before a pronoun, ma anta, so you are not. Anta, again, same thing, simple pronoun. You. Anta means you. Ma anta, you are not. Bi ni'ma. So B, remember, we just looked at the huruf chart, right? B is with or in. So bismillahi. So bi ni'ma, with the mercy, or sorry, with the grace, with the ni'ma, with the blessing. Who's Rabbika? Your Lord. Okay, so this ka is again the pronoun, attached pronoun. So two types of pronoun, right? Attached or detached. So anta for you. Or yeah, I mean, R is just a particle, right? You. But when you want to talk about your, then you would have ka. Right? Rabbika.
Possessive, right?
Yes, because of possessive. Right?
This belongs to Allah.
Right. So no, come, sorry, say again.
It's a possessive, right? So
Yeah, possessive because your Lord.
yes, so
Yeah. Your Lord. Okay.
That is Rabbaka. What is different?
Okay, good. So Rabbaka and Rabbika, from our perspective, no difference, right? It will translate it as your Lord, your Lord. Okay. Now, if we talked about this before, so I'll just show it to you just for that. So usually this is helpful, what I'm going to talk about right now. From our perspective, this is helpful, especially when you're doing the memorization. So this comes here, status of noun. Okay, so in Arabic language, so I'm just going to say it again, it's not as important as the rest of the things, but you have a noun can be in three states. Okay, it can either be in the marfu' state, okay, so which is in this scenario is indicated by R, okay, marfu, or it can be in the mansub state, okay, indicated by N, or it can be in the jar state. Okay, so raf, marfu, mansub, and majrur. So these are the three states that a noun can be in. Okay, so you can think of the three types of role, right? So for example, so see in this case, when you see it says majrur, right? Genitive. Did it say majrur? Yes, it says majrur here as well. Majrur. Okay. In English, they will call it genitive, majrur or genitive if you're using corpus, or you would see it as marfu or nominative, or you will see it as mansub. Okay. So these are the roles of a noun. Okay, the role of a noun. So roles, as an example, you as a man, you are a father, right? You are a husband, and let's say you are a business owner. So these are the three different roles. Same person, but you have these three different roles. Clear? Now, when you are in these three different roles as a human being, usually you would have different set of clothing or attire when you are performing these different roles, correct? So in Arabic, the noun can be in one of these three states, and it will have the different haraka based on the state that it is in. Different haraka, right? So like it will end with as you know, in this scenario, fatha or kasra or fathatain, two fathas, two kasra, so on and so forth. So it will have these three different states based on the role. Okay. Now the roles are determined based on a bunch of different things. There are different rules that determine the roles. Okay. So what we have is a role. Okay. And based on the role, you will have a different look and feel. So in this scenario, you will either end with a fatha or a kasra or a dhamma based on your role. Okay. Now, what determines your roles? There are different rules that determine your role. One rule that determines your role is your role in the sentence. Okay, so let's go back here. So in this scenario, okay, so you have teacher and you have classroom. You have a student and you have soundly. You have teacher and you have pencil. Okay, you have teachers, student. Okay, so this is determining the role. So for example, a teacher entered the classroom. So teacher is what? He is doing the action, or she is doing the action. What is the action being happening in? Is in on classroom. So because of this role, the classroom will become a mansub, and the teacher will be marfu. Okay. Now in this case, the teacher's student. So in this scenario, the teacher becomes a what? Jar. And the student becomes the what? Marfu. However, they both together are representing the doer of the action. The teacher's student woke up suddenly. So the doer is who? The teacher's student, right? But because teacher is coming as a relationship to student, then the teacher will become majrur.
What's
Yeah.
Subject,
Subject, object, possessive. Okay? So that's one rule that determines what role. So you have to determine first what is the role, and then you will see, okay, what's going to be the look and feel, right? What would be the dressing? What would be the ending of the haraka? Is that clear? So let me repeat that. So you have roles, right? Either you're going to be in the marfu, you're going to be in the mansub, or you're going to be in the majrur. Why? That will depend on the rules. Okay? This is not the only rule. This is just one rule that we have seen. Okay, so what's one rule that you guys have just learned right now that will put something in the majrur state? We just looked at one rule, right?
the relationship.
Good. Okay, so now one rule that you have learned is that if it's a relationship, it will make you in which state? Majrur. Okay, so if you're looking at corpus, you would see that written as majrur, or you would see it written as genitive. Okay, now you know the role. Now you say, okay, well, how would you dress that person? How would you dress that word? Okay, so usually you would dress it with a kasra at the end. Usually, right? There are some exceptions, but usually you would dress it with the majrur will be dressed with a kasra. Okay, so example. Okay, let me give you another rule for majrur. So one rule you already know the relationship. The another rule for majrur is, where was it? Here, I think. All these huruf, they are also called huruf jar, right? So any noun that comes after it, it makes it majrur. any noun that comes after it, it makes it majroor. Okay.
Does Majrur come before in the other example?
Huh?
In the other example, the teacher's students,
Uh-huh.
Majrur was before the
Yeah, no, but that's a different rule. That rule is the relation rule.
Okay.
This rule is the jar rule, right? If you have this preposition before a noun, if a preposition is acting on a noun, it will make it majrur. That's the second rule, right? A rule for marfu, what's the rule for marfu? That if it's a doer of an action, it will become marfu. Right? We saw that, right? A teacher entered the classroom. And if it's something related to the action, like something related to the object, then it becomes what?
Mansub.
Mansub.
Marfu' is Dhamma.
Well, yeah, so that's the second stage, right? First, you need to determine the role, okay? Because is it a father? Is it a business owner? Is it a husband, right? So that's the role. Now you'll see, okay, what is the dressing? So yes, so one of the dress or one of the look and feel of marfu is going to be dhamma or dhammatain. Okay, now got it? So, but you need to understand one thing. From an understanding perspective, especially of Quran, it's not as important because you're not going to have a wrong understanding. You know who is a doer, so on and so forth, right? But this is helpful, especially when you are memorizing, because then you don't want to make this any like, why is it, as the brother Habib asked, right? Why is it here? So that's especially useful for memorization. So now let's answer his question. Is the concept clear? So role, and look and feel.
So,
Yeah.
going back to the page that you were just on, you said for Majrur it's kasra,
Usually.
and you said for anything that precedes or anything that comes after those, sorry, what are those called now?
Huruf jar.
After those is usually Majrur.
Yes.
So alhamdulillahi, and then radiyallahu anhu,
Yes.
wa not radiyallahi.
See, good. No. See, okay, great. So good, perfect, very good question. Let's see, make sure everybody understands the question. Okay. So he's saying, why is it not radiyallahi? Okay. So first of all, what is the harf jar here? What's the harf jar? An. Right? So it's not radiya, it's an. An is the harf jar. Everybody understands that? An means with. Who is this an ending on? Who is this an acting on?
The person.
The person, right? Him. So for that, you have who. Okay? So the pronoun who in this case is in the state of no, it's in the state of jar. Is it? Now you got me confused. 1 second. Let me just double check something before I say something wrong. Okay, so let's take a look at quickly on an, okay? So that's how we do research. So if we go Quran dictionary, okay, we will go on ayn. Okay, so anyways, the point is that it's acting on that pronoun. I couldn't, I need to find an example of an. How do I find that?
Control find.
No, but it's only, oh, actually here. So if I find, because it's only showing me 3 letters, right? No, let's think of a word in Quran that has an. Then we can easily, radiyallahu anhum wa radu an. That's Surah Muhammad, right? I think. Okay, if someone can find that verse number, we can just jump into it.
Are you on Surah Al-Qalam?
Yeah.
Go to verse 7. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ ضَلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ.
Oh, good. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Okay, so let's see. Which is verse number what?
7.
Okay, let's see. An. Okay. Yeah, so like well, this is from here. So in this case, you have sabili, right? Inna rabbaka huwa a'lamu biman dalla an sabilihi. So that's why you have sabili as opposed to sabila or sabilu. Okay, there is still some related question and I'm not sure of. I need to think about it. But anyways, so hopefully that's clear that look, it's not acting on lafz jalala, it's ending on the. So one thing that I'm not sure right now, it just like came to my mind, why is it not anhi? Yeah, so there's probably a reason for that. I can't think of it right now. So I'll probably have to ask. Okay, because it could technically be right, because when we say fi kitabihi.
Yeah, but that's possession. His book.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you could have the pronoun in this format, right, and in the he format.
So the next one says fi sabilillahi.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And then you have radiyallahu anhu. Right?
yeah.
Then
So,
in
why-
this case is what is it denoting?
What is what denoting?
The he.
Which
Fi
he?
sabilillahi.
Yeah, good. So there's two things, right? Why is it sabili? Because of the fi. So fi is acting on sabil and making it sabili.
So what is each of these translating as? If you-
So fi is in, sabil is way, and sabil way of Allah, or path of Allah. Okay.
way of-
Yeah. So clear?
I think it's the dhamma when there's a verb. before the
Because sometimes there's multiple rules that are acting on it, and that may just like precede one over the other. So right now, an open question for me is why is it not radiyallahu anhi? I don't know the answer to that. Okay, need to think about it. Ask. Okay, but in general, these words are going to make the next word or the noun that they're acting on in the state of jar. So that's confirmed. Then how do you denote it? Is usually going to be a kasra. Clear? Okay. So if we go on Surah Al-Qalam now, so what was your question, Habib? Yes. Yes, good. So here, okay, now I'll tell you why. Okay, so here, why is it Rabba? Okay, good. So I'll tell you. So the reason is okay, this is a new rule, okay, which we haven't done before. Any noun that inna is acting on, okay, the noun that inna, and there are other letters like that is acting on, it makes it mansoob. Or in English, you call it what? Accusative. Okay? So that's why you have inna Allaha ma'as sabirin. Right? So any noun that inna is acting on, it makes it mansoob. So and usually mansoob is denoted by a fatha. Clear? Okay, so that's the lesson here. That's the reason here. Okay, if you wanted to see that, let me just quickly show you that quickly as well. I think if you click on inna, for example, so it's called inna wa akhawatuha. So the particle inna and its sisters, they make it in the mansub state. So if I click on dependency graph, okay, so it will show you this. Look, that inna is acting on this. You see this? These arrows? This inna is acting on this. So that's what's making it. So anyway, these are like, you can just go into a lot of details. And I think we're just getting off track now. So let's come back on track. Okay, where were we? Okay, yeah. So inna, indeed, rabbaka, your Lord. Huwa, he. A'lamu, most knowing. Biman. Okay. Dhalla. An. Sabili. So that's what I'm saying. Here you have sabili, he, right? His path. So that's why I'm like not sure why is it not anhi. I'm sure there's a reason, but I'm just confused right now.
Because of his showing
No, so we know that it is in the jar, but why is it not coming as a kasra? There's probably some other rule that, so there's sometimes multiple rules applying and then something happens. Okay, fi sabilihi wa huwa, and he a'lamu bil muhtadin. Okay, so here the root letters are ha, dal, ya. Okay, and so usually this is another pattern that you can look at. Look, muhtad, if you just look at muhtad, so meme is the one, meme. So meme followed by something. That's a very important usual pattern. So a person with that quality. So usually you would have meme followed by a quality. So when you have that, it means a person with that quality or people with that quality. Very simple example: Muslim, person with Islam; mu'min, person with iman. If you make it plural, mu'minun or mu'minin, person, people with iman or people with guidance and so on and so forth. Clear? Okay, fala. So do not tuti'. You obey. So the ta is for you. Okay. Al-mukaththibin. See, same thing. Kizb, liar. Mu, person with the quality of being a liar. Mukaththib. Okay. Mukaththibin, liar. So again, if you can identify the root letters and you can get to the source of it, then these patterns will help you. So you see, the source here is kaf dal ba, from kadhib, lying. Mukaththib, one who lies. And then you have the ya nun at the end to make it plural. Al-mukaththibin, those who are liars. Clear? What do they wish, they will, they law, that, tudhinu, fayudhinun. So you see, dal ha nun. Okay, beautiful, right? To, ta for you. And then here you have ya and wa nun for they. Okay, so see, now you're seeing the importance of pattern. Wala. Okay, same thing to there. Kulla, we have seen before as well. Every. Halaf, habitual, right? Someone who swears a lot. Mahin, worthless. Hammaz. So this is also from wailul likulli humaza. Same thing. Humazatil lumaza. Masha, going about. So we saw that in Surah Al-Mulk. I think. What was the verse? أَفَمَنْ يَمْشِي مُكِبًّا عَلَى وَجْهِهِ. Same root, right? The one who walks straight up compared to the one who is crawling on his face. Binamim, with, so be with, namim, malicious gossip. Manna, to prevent. Okay, from mim, nun, ayn. Lil khayri, okay. Mu'tad. So now you have to repeat it. Mu'tad, the one who transgresses, right? The one who has the quality of ayn ta dal, the one who transgresses. Utud. Athim, sinful. Athim, ithm is to sin. Hamza, tha, mim, to sin. It's a sin. Athim, the one who sins, sinful. Utullim, cruel. Ba'ada, after. Dhalika, that. Zanim, utterly useless. And because, or kana, was, the possessor, right? So the is something, we see dhul jalali wal ikram, right? The possessor of jalal and ikram. So the is a possessor. Mal, wealth. Banin, children. Idha, when. Tutla, alayhi. So see again, ala, and then it's making it he, right? Not who, because of harf jar. Ayatuna, qala, asatir. So this is same thing from sin, ta, ra, right? So wal qalami wa ma yasturun, right? So similar root. Al awwalin, sanasimuhu. Okay, sa is for soon. Okay, where's the we coming from? We. So what is the action here? What is the action here? Brand. Who is branding? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the we. Where's the we coming from? Noon. 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 And who is for him? Sanasimuhu, we will brand him. So him is coming from who? Ala. Why is it khurtumi?
Al.
Because of ala,
Oh, sorry.
right? Again, doesn't matter, but just now that we had talked about it, so showing off, right? That okay, this is where you can use it. Ala al khurt.
Yes,
Sorry, where?
what was that? Go on the top where we were discussing the, yeah. Let's go up more, the very beginning. Yes.
So with the first verse. On the bottom.
وَالْقَلَمِ وَمَا يَسْطُرُونَ مَا أَنْتَ بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ بِمَجْنُونٍ.
Between what we were discussing before about who and he, remember?
Oh, in the
Yeah.
pronoun chart here?
Somewhere here, yeah. No. Go back here. No.
On the
Where you
previous
were
page.
before.
I think on the
There was
previous
something,
Okay.
yeah, just here, but if you scroll down a little bit.
Alayhi.
Alayhi, yeah. So you were saying, why is it not alayhu and alayhi?
Yeah, because of Allah, right?
So,
So Allah is being applied on he. So that's making it what role? What's the role here? No, the role is
so alayhi is a preposition,
it's a majroor,
so which is
okay,
Makes it a majrur.
because of Allah.
So it goes with the custom.
Yes.
so two. It's denoting preposition, right? Two.
Yeah, Allah is two.
Okay. And he is him.
Yeah.
So it's, if it was who, then what would it be? In which?
But
It
what would
wouldn't
have
be
to come
It
before
wouldn't
for it
be
to
him,
be-
right?
Well, yeah, there's two
For-
things.
For it to be who, it has to be what? He or?
No, if it for it to be who, it would be just like
Him
you know,
also?
kitabuhu, right? His book,
His.
book, kitabuhu,
Not him.
his.
Okay, but
right?
his.
It could, yeah, it would now, it would. Can it be him? It could. I think it may even be.
His.
It has to be
book.
directly
So
connected
it's-
to the object. Kitab,
Yeah.
kitabuhu.
Yeah.
Alayhi, it's on him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
Something belonging.
Yeah.
Who would be something belonging?
something belonging to.
Kitabuhu. So there has to be the object.
I don't. I think it can still be object as well. Like for example, darabahu. Right? Doesn't have to be.
Past. That's because we're talking past tense.
Yeah, no, but it's still who. It's not he, right? Even though it's a him, right? Right. So it's in a mansub state.
We can't say that about he.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So you can't. But so that's what I'm saying. It's not, the rule is not that it has to be only possessive, right? So again, there's like, as I said, like
Oh,
multiple
because
rules
it's a
that may be acting on
preposition,
it.
that's why.
Huh? Yeah. So right now
Because
here,
it's a preposition, you
Correct.
cannot have who. It has to be he.
yes, that's what I understand, right? But in the same case, we have anhu, which still is a mystery for me right now. So that's something we can figure out. But I hope that this is totally next level. It's not something that we commonly do. I hope we're not scaring anybody. We're just like trying to get into a next level today. Okay, al khurtum. Yeah, so we did khurtum is a nose, snout, and why is it me? Because of Allah.
But was it the infinitive with the word itself? The noun is khurtumu.
Yeah.
Without anything but khurtumu.
So you're comparing anhu with what we just saw here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was anhu is, why is it anhu? It's with him, right? That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
With him. So in that case, you have a preposition too.
Yes.
With him. But in this case, it's.
Yes, that's what we
did you
don't know
say
yet.
it was to him.
Alayhi.
To him.
Right. Okay, so inna, indeed, we, balawnahum. Okay, we have tried them, right? From noon is from we, and them is whom. Okay. We saw this before as well. Where was that? الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم. Same root, right? For test, for bala. Balawnahum, we have tested them. Kama, like. balawna
We tried.
ashab al-jannah. See, so now here we tested, and then the object is coming as a separate, right? So actually we haven't started this. Why I'm, yeah, so that's it. But anyways, while we have started it, so balawnahum, we have tested. Who is the object here? Them. Okay, whom? Them. Okay. Now here the object is separately mentioned. We have tested who are the objects here? Ashab al-jannati. Okay. So now quickly, because we're saying this, why is it ashaba? What is the role here? The role here is of mansub or accusative. Why? Because it's an object. Everybody with me? So that's why, and usually the mansub is ending with a fatha. So that's why ashaba. Okay. Why is jannati in the majroor state? Because now it's a relationship. The people of the Jannah. Right? So ashab al-jannati, like Rasulullah, Kitabullahi, and Abdullahi, and so on and so forth. Anyway, so this is the next verse for next time.
Abdullahi.
So Abdullah, that's the general, right? Marfu state, Abdullahi. Right? And then
There's never a saying of ashabul jannati. So it's ashaba.
No, we can. Ashabul jannati yawma idhin. What's the word? Ashabul jannati yawma idhin.
What's before that though? Is it a verb? But
No, that now in this case it's a marfu, right? You're talking about ashabul jannah, right? Somebody find that verse now. But anyway, so it can be ashabu, right? If it's a marfu state, it will be ashabul jannati.
And marfu is the
Ashabul jannah. Mansub ashab al jannah. Ashabi for majroor. Clear? Okay, good. طيب. Jazakumullah khairan. We'll investigate anhu, and then inshallah. Oh, by the way, so everybody okay with coming in next Wednesday and the one after? Right? Nobody's in the holiday spirit, right? This is a holiday for us. Okay, so inshallah we'll have class, we'll have our session, unless the masjid decides to override me. Hopefully they won't. And I haven't heard anything. So if anything happens, I'll email you and WhatsApp you. But in general, we should be having classes in the next 2 Wednesdays as well. Inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. And please work on your vocabulary, right? You should be by year end.